We've done it. Is there a greater achievement than two chimps with microphones recording 4 days of golf analysis? Yes, there is one greater achievement.
Yes.
And that is a career Grand Slam.
Wow.
I cannot believe what I have just seen. Tom, everyone else in my house has fallen by the wayside. My wife was into it at one stage. My sons were watching. Everyone's gone to bed, of course. It's very, very late here in the UK. And I was by myself. And I actually had tears. Like, I'm actually still, my eyes are still moist.
Wow.
From what I just saw. I just thought it was just unreal.
I have never seen a sporting moment quite like that. Because, as we've said on this show before, I'm not really into my football. I'm not into my cricket. I'm not into my rugby. The only sport I really have is this sport. And I've never watched a round of golf that felt so much like what I imagine watching a World Cup final is like. I've watched those big England moments, and yes, I love them. But watching a moment like that in a sport that I hold so dear was incredible, because that we will struggle to beat a Sunday at a major with what we've just... I don't think that's going to be beaten in our lifetime, Tom, because that was box office from the first tee shot.
Yeah. From the... I mean, I honestly... Sorry, this isn't very useful. I just don't know where to start. Like, I thought that yeah, you're right about the context of other sports in my life. And when I think about watching Wales in rugby, like, that's huge for me. Watching them when they used to win, which they don't anymore, and watching Liverpool. I adore watching Liverpool win football matches and winning the Premier League, and it's just amazing. But there was something different about this, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It reminded me of, I'm not a huge tennis fan, but watching Andy Murray win that Wimbledon for the first time, it was that times a million, because I love the sport and I love everyone. I love so many of these pros who are out there playing it. And when you understand it, when you're the great joy of golf, the great joy of our show, I think, is that golf is a sport that is, you watch it and enjoy watching the pros as much as you enjoy playing it yourself. And there's very, very few sports that have an equal amount of I watch it as much as I play it. Most sports don't have that. So we understand, obviously we're nowhere near as good, but you get a sense of what that triumph must feel like.
We've all stood there. And I don't think there was a more fitting way for Rory to win than how he won. There was going to be fireworks. There was going to be moments where you thought, he can't chip it into the water, can he, from 100 feet? Yeah, he can. He can and he will. Moments, he pulled off some of the most miraculous golf shots that we have ever seen. We were texting, Tom, weren't we? And obviously there's the famous Matt Fitzpatrick bunker shot we all talk about, but that has been dwarfed by probably what was a 7-iron, that big drawing 7-iron, and then an 8-iron, I think, later on in the round. It was very, very special. He played amazing.
He hit a 7-iron on 15 into that par 5. That's the hole which he got a double bogey pretty much out of nowhere on the first day. From that first day, listen, we've had a Jekyll and Hyde Rory McIlroy here, and from that first day, that triumphant Rory was on the march and he was going to win it. And there's just been this gremlin, this bogey, this we have to be honest, he has scuppered himself. There has been some self-sabotage going on there. Whether or not he's doing it on purpose, of course he's not doing it on purpose, but there has been some self-sabotage going on there where he loses focus, he gets clumsy, he overthinks, because the pressure is unimaginable. I cannot imagine what the control it must have taken inside his brain to control those emotions for 4 days, Tom.
No, it's been ridiculous. And coming out of the blocks and doing what he did on 1 and 2 and putting himself behind Bryson and having to chase, it's almost like he needed that. He needed that, take off the pressure, get his feet back on the earth and go, right, okay, God, I need to get level. I need to work out what's going on here and I need to attack Bryson, which he went on to do. Bryson then falls away. Out of nowhere, Ludvig's back in the race. Out of nowhere, Rose is back in the race. It was, for me, the perfect Sunday at any major, because you wouldn't have scripted it like that. I think we all would have scripted it. Sitting there as they teed off, it felt to me like this was going to be a Rory versus Bryson show. And always with this sport, it surprises you that very quickly they go, God, no, this isn't the storyline, actually. It's actually about how much can Rory hold on and deal with his own demons. And if you were writing this, if this was a film, he wouldn't have missed that final putt on 18. He'd have made it, and he would have overcome his demons. But the fact is, he's still the same golfer we've always known, which is his head is left spinning, and he has to grind out a win. And you saw him when he fell to his knees on 18. My God, what it meant.
But, that moment when he fell to his knees and just pointed out towards the course, it had echoes of Matsuyama's caddy bowing to the course. It was totally beautiful. And I there has been a cloak of sadness around Rory for 10 years, maybe less, but the guy who should, and he is the generational talent who should do that. And he turns up at these events, and then obviously everything happened with Liv, and then obviously there was the stuff with his private life last year, and there's always been this sense of, you can imagine him walking in the room and people going, is he all right at the moment? Yeah. And that was what he had. Those were ghosts, and those were things he had to exercise, right? He had to get rid of those, and he's just done it. And that is how hard it was. That is how difficult those demons were to get rid of. I mean, it was full, the things he had to do to hold those putts. My God. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the achievement.
I don't want to start looking ahead already and getting overexcited and getting into sort of Scotty Scheffler world of last year, where he was on a bit of a roll and we were like, could he? Calendar Grand Slam, could he? And I'm not going to say calendar Grand Slam because that's ridiculous. But a deeper point than that, a sort of more nuanced point, is, do we think what he's just done at Augusta National is going to unlock a different level of Rory? The Rory we saw maybe 10 years ago, where he was full of confidence and he had swagger and he just believed in himself. Do we think this is going to be this moment where he goes on a whole new lease of life for Rory, and he just racks up majors left, right and centre? Can you imagine? Yeah.
It's like a Premier League striker who's been on a goal drought and suddenly they get one and it unlocks stuff, because his problem has been, as we could see today, finishing, just getting over that finishing line. We all know he does things on a golf course that, let's be honest, no one else can consistently choose to do. All of those guys are incredibly good and they can have moments, but Rory can choose to do these, like there's probably 3 or 4 moments in that last round in the back nine, hitting over those trees, bending the ball round, having to get a birdie on 17, getting the birdie. I mean, that's the whole Rory story is encapsulated in those last 2 holes. Rory, you have to get a birdie on one of these 2 holes to win the Masters and a career Grand Slam. Okay, here's the birdie. That's unreal. Now you just need to, for God's sake, he's gone and got a bogey. I mean, that is him. That's what he's done. That's what he's done for 10 years. And I honestly think that has to be banished, because let's be honest, if he doesn't win another major now, which isn't going to happen, he's going to win more majors now. But if he doesn't, he's done it.
He's done it. Thank God. He can just. He's going to be in the Champions Dinner now. I'm already thinking Guinness on tap at Augusta. It's going to be unreal. He's going to be able to go to those dinners. He's got his green jacket. That must just be such a weight off his shoulders. We've spoken on this show in the past, and I've had my ups and downs with Rory. I've been very honest about that on this show, and to banish, that was just one person on one podcast saying, what's his feelings on YouTube golf and Live, and this is all a bit crazy. He has the whole of golf media saying that about him all the time. I don't know if you saw the Shane Lowry interview when Shane was getting interviewed straight after, I think it was the Saturday round, and he was like, I don't want to talk about Rory. I don't want to do 10 minutes here talking about Rory. And that's just one golfer having one interview. Can you imagine what it's like being Rory McIlroy and having that amount of pressure from the whole golfing media landscape and all the fans? And he can just take that off his back now and go, I did it. Gone. I did the Grand Slam. I'm cool. I've done it.
The monkey on your back has gone. And that's the other thing as well, Tom. It's not just good news for Rory. It's really good news for me and for us as golf viewers, because now I don't need to start every major thinking, I really want Rory to win. I probably will still think that, but I can start to look elsewhere now. Do you know what I mean?
Good.
I can start to look at Colin Morikawa, who I love, or Justin Thomas, who I adore, and go, I'd really like Justin Thomas to win this one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of every time, because I'm such a Rory fan, I think so many people are going, I really want Rory to win, and also having to deal with a lot of people going, he's a choker, he's never going to win again. And tonight, for example, my God, my WhatsApp, if I had to pay per WhatsApp message, I'd probably be remortgaging about that.
What, for this, he's going to bottle it?
Yeah, I've been fielding messages all over my family WhatsApp group, you and me, loads of people, my mate Jimmy, Malcolm, Amos,
all the
guys,
characters.
right? All my golfing guys. You must all have this as well with all your WhatsApp groups. Everyone going, choke, he's going to bottle it. He's never going to do it. This kind of very British thing of going, we're very good at vocalising disappointment and mediocrity and he's let everyone down. We're not very good at vocalising triumph and celebration of people, and that's what we're trying to do now, because what he's done is unreal. A British guy, he's from the UK, and he has just become a career Grand Slam winner, and that is the first person from the UK to do that, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What is it? Is this number 6 to do it in the whole history of golf?
It's 6, yeah. So it goes Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Gary Player, and now it's Rory McIlroy. That's cool.
But it's crazy, isn't it? Because it's almost like he should have had this 10 years ago. It shouldn't have taken this long for this moment to happen. Yeah. And it felt, I couldn't deal with the pressure of it. I couldn't deal with the idea. Right. There's a lot of things that I think I could do, given a bit of time. You know, the heart surgeon, why not? Bit of practice, I could get there. But standing on the first with your career all behind you, knowing that this was the moment to win the Masters, there's no way I would have the yips on every shot.
What we do, for example, right? Sitting here talking about golf, if someone said to us, you need to do 3 incredible minutes that have jokes, a revelation, a callback, and a spontaneous moment of wit and wisdom that is going to spread around the world, and we have got 10 million people watching this 3 minutes of your podcast to make the podcast fly. I don't know about you, but I'd be a gibbering wreck,
no good.
right? And I'm good at talking. I'm good at doing this stuff. So you know, it's insane. It's insane the pressure that he has been under. And you know, I have to ask the question: does it make it all the sweeter that he's the 11th time of asking to complete the career Grand Slam? Probably worth it, I reckon. Probably worth it. It's part of his story. It's part of all our stories now as golf fans.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment, isn't it, to go, I went 10 years without winning a major, and then I completed the Grand Slam. It's just the hard bit is the 10 years where you got to live through that. Like, it's a beautiful story. Yeah. My God, is the Rolex advert going to be unreal? I cannot wait for the Nike Rolex advert. It is just going to be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they've got enough moments to choose from, haven't they? If they want to be finding, you know, incredible shots. And what I find really interesting, and I've got an iPad on now that's already showing stuff, lots of slow motion stuff. What I found really illuminating was the emotional break. He looked so cold, and he wasn't engaging with people. And then as soon as he won it,
bang!
Whoa,
yeah, there's him.
Came.
That's yeah.
And that control, being able to control your emotions, as we've said on the podcast, because obviously this is what we do. If you're new to golfers ruining your life, if you've discovered us during this weekend of watching the Masters, we talk about pro golf, but we talk about ourselves a lot, and you as well, and how our games are going. And the thing that always comes up is, how do you get that mental control? And you've seen it right there. You have seen it happen. The way that it just broke like a spell. And that is as important as being good at putting, for example.
Is it the greatest sporting moment of the last decade? That's been thrown around my WhatsApp statement a lot tonight. And as someone who only really likes golf, yes, I'm into my football. Watching England get to the final of the Euros was an amazing moment and was really cool. But I don't have as much invested into football as I do into this sport by having a podcast and having played this sport since I was 12 years old. For me, I have never seen a spectacle like watching the theatre of that play out at Augusta National and being gripped from the moment. We have been gripped on this thing since tee off on Thursday, in my opinion, especially since Saturday. Every single swing of Saturday we saw, and we've just watched it on Sunday. For me, that's one of the greatest greatest sporting moments of the last decade, if not the greatest sporting moment of the last decade.
It's a bold statement, right? Because there's been a lot of sport, but you know, watching that story unfold and watching the way that he did the best he could to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. My God, when you go over that round, you know, and that's what. Let's take a moment. I need to dry my eyes. Let's go and bask in some lovely products and really just think about.
He's going to have a Rory cry, guys. We're going to get a Rory cry. Unbelievable scenes.
I can see because I'm watching him. He's in the hut, man. I'm watching the bit where he's in the hut and he looks pale. He looks white as a sheet. Actually, he looks really pale. He must be knackered.
Adverts. Products. Soothe us with your products.
Hello, welcome back to Golf is Ruining My Life.
Are you okay?
The Rory Triumphant Special. I'm very tired. I'm very tired.
Me, I'm tired.
I mean, what did you do when it happened? Take me through the Tom Green approach to this triumph. What did you do?
So this has been mad. So to give a little insight, I'm up to do a radio show in 3 hours' time. So I was pretty convinced that Rory was going to sink that putt on 18. So as he teed off on 18, I came running into the studio, which is in the back of my garden, and set everything up, set cameras rolling, and was like, right, I'm just going to run back in and see him and I was listening to the rails. I had 5 Live on in the studio, and I heard them go,
Yeah, amazing.
he's put it in the bunker. And I was like, okay, here we go. Right, so this is going to be an absolute disaster. Ran back into the house and watched him miss the putt. And I just thought, classic. It was never going to be any other way than this. It's been the most Rory McIlroy round of any Rory McIlroy round, and it's going to end in the most Rory McIlroy way. At that time, I didn't know he was going to win. I'll be honest, I thought he might bottle it. I thought this might be the ultimate bottle it, and that Rosie goes on to win it.
I'm very proud to say I knew he wouldn't choke. I know that next year, when Rory is hosting the Champions Dinner, Bryson will be choking on the Guinness pie. But I know that Rory. I knew he wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't choke. I knew it because when Rory is put up against the wall, he will do the incredible things. Like he did on 17, like he did on 18, second time round against Justin Rose. He will do it. But the problem is when he's not against the wall and the pressure's not there, he gets loose.
Yeah, it goes.
And he puts it in a bunker because he overthinks it. And he does the crazy thing he did on 15 when he where did he? Was it 15 where he just needlessly put it in Race Creek?
I think it was 15. But I think
was it early? No, it's 13.
Was it? 13. I think we can look at some other golfers as well because I mean Ludvig Aberg is going to leave this round of golf with some serious scars. Like Jesus, Augusta National is hard to him. Coming second last year, there were so many moments across his 18 where it felt like he could have got a few more birdies on the card. There were so many amazing birdie opportunities, which he just didn't quite get. And then he completely capitulated on 18, 2 shots out of the bunker, spraying it all over the place. That's going to be hard. He's getting those Rory scars early. Like coming back next year, Jesus, there's going to be a lot of baggage.
Well, yeah, but I think that's what Augusta does. Augusta gives all these golfers baggage to take home with them and think about. And one of them gets to have a green jacket in their baggage, but the rest of them have to just
baggage.
Dwell on it. You're absolutely right. Oberg dropped 4 shots in the last 2 holes
crazy.
And dropped from second place to 5th or something. So he's probably lost a fortune. Who cares? I'm sure they don't think about it in financial terms, but it will have scarred people, but all of them, every single one of them, there's not a single person there playing that incredibly hard course who hasn't, had an absolute battle out there. They've all been beaten up by that.
Should we touch on Bryson? Should we touch on? Yeah, I mean, we have to touch on Bryson. He really struggled out there today. It's hard, isn't it, when Bryson's big advantage was always off the tee and he's level pegging with Rory. It's like, God, okay, you've got to be pretty great with the irons. And
I'm watching it. I'm watching the moment. I'm getting tingles.
Is he getting the jacket on?
Just put the green jacket on. The jacket. Scotty's putting the jacket on. Rory McIlroy's got the green jacket on.
I bet it looks good.
Oh no, they're doing a montage and they're showing montage footage of Rory as a kid.
Okay, we can't watch it.
Stop it, Sky.
No, Price will cry. We don't need tears from Price on this podcast episode.
Wow, look how young he is in 2009. His first Masters, he was so young.
It was interesting. It was illuminating to watch Bryson really struggle out there today. Although once again the commentary was very anti-Bryson. I saw loads of that online. They were going in at him. I got to say, their underlining point was probably true. He was really spraying those irons. Like, you should be better with a 7 iron. Goodness me, you should be better with a 7 iron. But if I'm honest with you, no matter what Bryson did, I think they would have called him out anyway. If you just listen to the commentary, you'd think he was 50th on the leaderboard and he was second. It's like, Jesus. But he had a hard time out there.
At one point. You're absolutely right. I spotted a moment when Faldo was, and it's always Faldo who doesn't like it at all. Faldo was saying, well, he's gone now. He's gone. He went in the water or something. And he said, he's out, he's gone. And then he ended up with a bogey. And then a few holes later, he had a birdie on a par 5. And I was like, Bryson's on 7 under. He's not out of it at all.
No.
Because everyone else was dropping down. It's just not accurate. But there was a moment when Bryson was leading on the second hole. He got the birdie. Rory had got a double on the first. And I thought, oh no, this is the direction of travel. And not very long after that, it became apparent that Bryson just wasn't playing well enough. And I don't think he has been all week with those irons. He's hooking it.
He was hooking it.
It's that simple. Yeah. He's hooking the ball, guys. You can't win a major, let alone Augusta, if you're hooking it. You just can't.
You've got to have a portion of luck as well out there. And let's be honest, Rory did have his portion of luck. You got to. There was that moment on, it must have been 11, because it must be the start of Amen Corner, where he put it in the trees on the right, and then he tried to sort of, I guess we're going to say the term bunt. He tried to bunt one out there, and it was so close to going in the water. It must have been the last roll of the ball before the ball went on the downslope and it would have rolled in. That's the one where Bryson went in the water. We all need our portion of luck, but he did at times get lucky out there.
he totally rode his luck, but you need to have a bit of luck to win this kind of tournament, and he would be the first to admit that. But also, he had a lot of bad luck as well. He really, no, bad luck's probably not the right phrase because technically it's sort of his fault. But it's we should celebrate Rory, but someone else who we should also, who's kind of being missed out in this because the magnificence of what Rory's done by getting a career Grand Slam is Justin Rose. Justin Rose is 44 years old. He has come along. He's got 10 birdies on the final day. Oh, there were only 4 holes that were pars for him on the final day at Augusta. If he hadn't got those bogeys and those had been pars, he'd have been course record territory. Justin Rose was unbelievable. Oh my God, Rory's just hugging Bob Rotella. It's Brad Faxon. It's Brad Faxon. No, it's Brad Faxon. I think it's Faxon. Oh no.
Yeah, it was that I did say, we said on this podcast, it probably was Saturday, that I thought Justin Rose had a great round on Thursday, held it together on Friday, and sort of the truth outed on Saturday. But that's not true. The guy is an unbelievable golfer. He's definitely played his way into that Ryder Cup team, you'd imagine, with that performance. 10 birdies is absolutely bonkers. On a Sunday.
Yeah, unbelievable. But again, with Justin, as with all of them, there's so many moments where you think, God, you missed some putts, didn't you guys? If like Aberg on the final day, mate, if Aberg hadn't missed so many little dribblers, and Justin Rose has got that from the Saturday, lots of little putts that he missed. Rory, my God, the shots. Obviously, he was incredible, but he left some shots out there as well. They all left shots out on the course, which is a good lesson for us, right? Because obviously we're never going to get anywhere near what those people are doing, but that feeling, Rory walking off the course, I wonder how much other players walk off the course and go, oh God, that was so close. That should have been a birdie. Like, it makes you realise that is golf. That is this game that we do. And you will always walk off going, oh, I can't believe I missed that 2. I can't believe I 3-putted when I had a birdie. But because I've watched so much of this tournament because we've been doing this, I have seen all these pros do it, and it's a real boost when you go out and play next time. Remember how it happens to them. Remember how they deal with it and they bounce back. My big takeaway as well from watching Rory today is I need to really learn to shape my shots because he sprayed it a bit off the tee. He's unbelievable off off the tee. But he found himself behind trees and in that sort of like the fescue, the brownie stuff, the piney stuff. Yeah. And he just didn't let him affect his game. He was going over trees. He was hooking them. He was hitting these amazing shots. And even when he found himself blocked out, that didn't stop him attacking the green. And I was like, God, I really need to get some shot shaping in my game because it totally transforms everything. You lose it off the tee a little bit. Well, that's not a bogey. You don't need to drop a shot on this hole. Just attack it, bend it a little bit, and you might be able to find yourself on the green. It was great to see. Yeah, I think so. I think his driving on the beginning of the last day was so frustrating. If I was his caddy, I'd have taken the club off him. Like, it was insane. Found every bunker. Every bunker, man. Oh. Every fairway bunker he found himself in. And it was exhausting. Yeah, it was. I feel like I've been through the emotional ringer. I feel like do you know what? This reminds me of watching the Ryder Cup, because the Ryder Cup is there's so many different things that happen in one sporting event. You know what I mean? There's so many, this shot, that shot, this moment, that moment. There's so many that have happened. And I've never seen an Augusta like it. That was the best Masters I've watched. Definitely. Crazy to see Scheffler off the boil as well. A golfer who's normally so on it, got that killer instinct. It's I say this again, and I really do mean it. He's boringly good. It's not like Rory. It's not box office. There's nothing going to go majorly wrong. But he was just a little bit all over the place today, and he really suffered from that as well. Patrick Reed, there was a moment where like P. Reed may do it again. He came out of nowhere. P. Reed in everywhere. I know. I saw old Patrick Reed appearing on the leaderboard, and I was like, has someone been checking his scores? How's he got on the leaderboard? That's look at this. Absolutely bizarre. Rory's had a win. Patrick Reed on the leaderboard. But I felt like, because it's just such a hard course, it meant that the best golfers rose to the top. They really did. And there was a lot of good people like Morikawa and Tommy Fleetwood and absolutely loads of great golfers who just, they couldn't take it on. It's such a challenge. It's such a test. Rory has done the Grand Slam, and we've been there together to witness a moment in golf that certainly won't be matched this year. I feel a little bit like when I shot the 78 and I didn't want to go and play golf again for a bit because it's hard to. I'm not going to be. Rory doing the Grand Slam, me having the heady heights of a 78 at Porters Park. Those are two things that hit different, and it's hard. It's hard to think about. If any other moment in the golfing calendar is going to come close to this, but we are in a Ryder Cup year, so who knows? Yeah, I can tell you something in the golfing calendar that's going to come close to it. And this is a bit of an exclusive on the show, because if you have joined us while we've been doing these daily bits and bobs, do listen to the podcast regularly. It's me and him having a nervous breakdown most of the time, talking about professional golf, talking about new kit, talking about equipment, talking about you as well. We have Email Corner every single Thursday. Drop us an email, thetoms@golfisruiningmylife.co.uk. You can win 50 quid to spend at Golf Bidder. The thing I'd ask for that email is actually, Tom, and this relates to the Masters, what's your takeaway from watching the Masters this time round? What are the things that you will do in your game? Like, what is the thing where you think, okay, all right, Rory shaped it, or you think, okay, pros miss those short putts. Okay, I'm going to practice out of bunkers. What is the thing you've seen them do that's made you think, yeah, I can actually learn something from that? Because there's always something.
It has taught me to accept the game of golf a little bit more. Like watching Bryson scramble around today. Green and regs were not something on his radar, but he still scored relatively. He sort of held on for a decent amount of time because he was scrambling left, right, center. So when I leave a round of golf and I go, I scored well, but I was a little bit all over the place. Was that really a good round of golf? Yeah, it was a good round of golf because you scored well. We've said this. We've said this on the show before. Yeah. You don't need to strike the ball amazing. You get to a certain level of golf, and if the score says you've played well, then guess what? You've played well. Like you look at Rory today. There was moments of utter desperation, chipping into the water from 100 yards out. That you're not going to walk away from that saying it was a great round of golf. The guy's gone on to win the Masters. He's had the best round of golf of his life, right? So that's my takeaway.
Golf is chaos. Golf is chaos. Go just surf the chaos. If it's chaos for them, imagine what it's like for us. So surf the chaos.
Yeah, Tom, what's your takeaway?
We're nearly done. Well, I would say that basically, just sort of ride out the chaos, and if possible, if you are about to win a tournament, get your wife and kids to be waiting for you when you come off the 18th, because I just think that'd be so lovely. I'd love to, I'd love to go out and play and get my 43 Stableford points, and then just waiting for me, my wife and kids. I'd feel like, that feels so good.
What a moment.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's been amazing. Watching this much of the tournament, it's the most I've watched of a major for ages, and it's just been totally brilliant. The other thing I'm going to say before we finish, and we're nearly done here, because let's be honest, it's pretty much 1 o'clock in the morning. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hang around with us, because we're going to have a lot of fun in the next few weeks. Tom and I have got a trip coming up. That is an exclusive reveal for you.
Yes.
We just thought we'd let you know. That is going to be a big part of the pod in the next few weeks, and we'd love to take you with us. So stick around, because there's an event on the way, isn't there, Tom?
Yes, something is happening. We are lining up probably what is going to be the biggest year that Golf Is Ruining My Life has ever had. We've got so much amazing stuff happening, which we can't tell you lots about, but there are trips coming, there are certain things happening, and we wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you, and we really want you to come on this journey with us, whether you've been here just across the Masters, whether you've been here since January or been here for the last 3 years since we've been doing this show, and when it was just me lying down on my sofa in a flat in Preston with a microphone to now this. It's mad how much this show's grown, and we couldn't do it without you, and it's only getting bigger. This year is lining up to be absolutely incredible, and we want to take you along the ride with us. So if you've enjoyed the Masters, do subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get the videos all the time. If you're on Spotify, 5-star review, make sure you subscribe, because Price, this is just the start.
It really is. I'm so excited. Well done. I guess Rory, but most of all, well done me and Tom for doing a daily podcast.
That was hard.
Piggybacking on Rory's achievement. We're the ones who really deserve a green jacket. Could we get a green dressing gown, maybe?
I'm up in 3 hours' time. That's not enough sleep. I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for listening to Golf Is Ruining My Life, the Master Specials. This has been Sunday. Rory McIlroy won the Masters. He's done the Grand Slam, and just like Golf Is Ruining My Life, this is just the start for him as well.
Get in.